What's up guys, it's Kristen here today with my June TBR. So apparently this is the time of year when I decided to tackle some of the largest books on my TBR pile, and you'll know if you watched my May TBR that I said I was going to read Jonathan Strange and Mr.Norrell, and the book is divided though into 3 separate parts. It is just over 1,000 pages, so I have decided to read one section each month, which is of course making it much more manageable and not nearly as terrifying as it looks. And essentially this book, it is set in a real historical time period at the beginning of the 19th century in England during the Napoleonic Wars. But in this world, magic exists, or should I say magic used to exist, but for the past 200 years magic has left England and there has been no magicians until Mr. Norrell and Jonathan Strange come along. And obviously I read the first section of it in May, and so far I am really enjoying it, and when I finish it, it will officially be the longest book I have ever read, edging out the Wise Man's Fear by a few pages. And next up on the list of mammoth books, I will be reading The Crimson Petal and the White by Michel Faber, and I will be buddy reading this with Hillary from Yrrobotfriend, but the same with Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, because it's so chunky we are gonna separate it over 2 months. I've actually known about this book for many years now because I am such a massive Gilmore Girl fan, and in one episode when the grandmother Emily is having a breakdown, this is the book that she is reading.
Lorelai here. I just finished reading and I think you'll really like it. It's about this prostitute named Sugar in Victorian England. She starts rising through the ranks of society and she meets these really vivid characters.
And that is literally all I know about the book, and that is enough for me, while also the fact that Jane Campbell read it, I think last year, and she rated it as one of her favorite books of the year. Then for something a little bit smaller, I will be reading The Austere Academy. This is the 5th book in Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events. All of the books in the series basically have the exact same premise and plot line, following the Baudelaire orphans, but as I've said before, I never read them growing up, so it's really fun reading them now that I'm older, and I still just never get sick of them. Then for my mystery slash thriller read of the month, I will be picking up Perfect Days by Raphael Montes, and he is a Brazilian crime writer, so this was translated by Allison Entrekin. From what I know about this book, it sounds very similar to You by Caroline Kepnes, which I read a few months ago and very much enjoyed, because it is about a medical student who becomes fascinated by this girl and decides to kidnap her and take her on a road trip across Brazil. I know several people who have read this already and absolutely raved about it, and I feel like I've been missing out on a creepy stalker character ever since I read You. And this next book is one of my most anticipated reads for the entire year. It is Our Endless Numbered Days by Claire Fuller. This is the story of a young girl whose father tells her that the world is going to end, so he takes her away to a remote cottage in the forest, and they kind of just have to live off the land. But the story starts when she is much older and reflecting back on what happened, and you're not really sure what made her leave. This is another one that I've just heard so much praise for from people who have very similar tastes than me, and I actually have an extra copy that was sent to me by House of Anansi Publishing, so I'm hoping when I do eventually read it and do a review, I can give away this copy. And last but not least, for my nonfiction read, I will be picking up Infinitesimal, How a Dangerous Mathematical Theory Shaped the World by Amir Alexander. I am pretty nervous for this one because I heard about it on SimonOxfPhys channel, who is getting his PhD in physics, so I'm a little worried that this is just gonna go right over my head. This is about how the mathematicians in Italy in the 17th century started discussing the theory of infinitesimals, which is the theory that you can take any curve and break it down into an infinite number of infinitely small straight lines, and for some reason the church at the time thought that was an incredibly dangerous idea. They thought it was subversive and they banned it, which just absolutely fascinates me. I can understand certain ideas the church would find heretical at that time. They were a little nuts, but I don't know how the theory of infinitesimals would be so threatening to them. But I have heard that this is quite dense, so I'm just gonna cross my fingers and hope that I can make it through. So that is it for all of the books that I hope to get to in the month of June. It is kind of a busy month for me, so I'm really hoping that I can manage to read them all. And as usual, I would love to hear if you guys have read any of these books already and what your thoughts are on them, or what is one of your most anticipated books for June. So please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!